yesterday you cut out all of your parts, and today you're going to start sewing them together. You're not going to start stuffing just yet, so your animal is still going to remain flat and boring. You won't be lifelike yet. I like to start with the legs. The legs are the most simple thing to sew. Your students are going to sew 2 lines. And by doing it 4 times or 8 times or however many times their critter has legs, they get a good feel of the process and the repetitiveness really sticks. With younger students, I always start with the legs. So we'll put the body and tail aside. I tell my students to use 1 arm's length of thread. You don't want to have so much thread that the student gets things tangled, but you also don't want it to be so short that the student runs out. I use a darning needle, so it has a wider eye and a duller point, but it will still get through the sock. Some students that I've had who have had sewing experience want to tie a knot at the eye, and I find that to be frustrating as they're trying to sew because it won't go through the fabric as easily. So I just leave a very long tail and try to instruct the students to always pinch the thread at the eye of the needle. At the tail, they're going to need to tie a sufficient knot. If it's big and bulky, that's good. We don't want it to go through the sock material. So I start with the first leg, and from the inside, I go through so that the knot and this tail are hanging out inside. And then I have the students go from top to bottom and pull all the way through while pinching the thread in the eye of the needle. And then bottom to top, pinching the thread at the eye of the needle. And they will do this in an L shape. They will follow a straight line along the toes, which would be the bottom of our rectangle. Until they get to the corner. Some students have a little confusion about how to turn the corner, and simply having them turn the sock can aid in that. So they are going to continue bottom to top and top to bottom until they get to the next corner. And now we've come to the end of our first leg. I will tie a knot here, which to do that I go in and out, and I call this popping the balloon. So you pull your thread through until you have a circle. My thread, of course, doesn't want to make a circle, but you pull it through until you have a loop. And then you pop the balloon with your needle, and as you pull that through, it will make a nice knot. So we're going to leave this open for stuffing And we're going to leave this long tail so that we can close it up and attach it to the body after it has been stuffed. So you can just remove your needle and set this leg aside and start your next leg. So now that we have one leg done, we're going to continue the same process for the rest of the legs. Now that we have all 4 of our legs, we're going to set them aside with their tails and work on our tail and ears.